All right, so after listening to my speech, my audience will know more about the Salem witch trials. I'm going to start this video off with a small, short YouTube clip.
The Salem Witch Trials, 1692 to 1693. In Salem Village, Massachusetts, February 1692, Betty Paris, age 9, and Abigail Williams, age 11, the daughter and niece of Reverend Samuel Paris, became ill. Their health failed to improve and they went into constant fits, so a doctor called William Griggs was called in. His diagnosis: bewitchment. Soon other young women began to exhibit similar behavior, and a wave of hysteria spread throughout colonial Massachusetts. So, a special court assembled in Salem to hear the cases and find people guilty of witchcraft. Sarah Good, Sarah Osborne, and Tituba were the first people to be accused and arrested of bewitching Betty Paris and Abigail Williams. Every week, more and more were accused and arrested. A belief and fear of the supernatural is the idea that some humans, witches, were given power to harm others through it. A recent smallpox epidemic and the threat of attack by Native American tribes all fueled the hysteria in the Salem community. The first convicted witch, Bridget Bishop, was described as wearing black clothing and odd costumes, which was against the strict Puritan code of Salem. She was hanged on June 10th, 1692, at Gallows Hill. 18 more people were executed by hanging after being convicted of being a witch. Several others died in prison, and one man was even crushed to death by heavy stones as a form of torture. Contrary to popular belief, none of the condemned were burned at the stake. 150 more people would be accused of witchcraft, but by September 1692, hysteria had died down and people started to turn against the trials, with the last one ending in early 1693. Subscribe to see more.
Okay. All right, so a group of girls in the Salem village in Massachusetts claimed to be possessed by the devil. They accused women in the village of witchcraft. This caused a huge wave of hysteria. Hundreds were accused and jailed, and most of the people that were jailed did die from it. 19 were executed by hanging, and one man crushed to death by stone. And then 2 dogs were also executed. So let's start with why the Salem witch trials happened. In January of 1692, Reverend Paris's daughter Elizabeth and his niece Abigail Williams, both very young girls, were acting out of control. They became violent and they were putting their bodies into weird positions. Their local doctor was called because of the screaming, how aggressive and violent they were. So they called the doctor and he came and said it was supernatural. Later on, another girl, Ann Putnam, experienced very similar things. The aggressiveness, violent towards others, putting her body into weird positions as well. Those 3 girls got together and accused 3 other women for putting curses on them. One was Tituba. This was one of the Reverend's slaves. Sarah Good, who was a poor beggar, and the last one was Sarah Osborne, who was an elderly poor woman. So we've discussed why the trials happened. Now let's look at the 3 accused witches. They were brought in front of John Hawthorne and Jonathan Corwin to be questioned. The 3 girls, the accusers, were there. They were putting on a show, basically. They were spasming, screaming, just trying to make the 3 accused look bad. Good and Osborne denied everything, but Tituba confessed. It is believed she confessed out of fear. She said there were others working alongside of her serving the devil. After the trial, many more were accused. Many were hanged. 7 died in jail after this. And the one guy that was crushed to death was Giles Corey. He was pressed to death by stone because he refused to testify. So we've discussed the 3 accused witches. Now let's look at how the trials ended. So the trials ended in 1693. The hysteria finally started to simmer down. The governor's wife was actually accused of witchcraft as well. So the governor requested stop the trials. And it's also believed that the smallpox pandemic played a big part in ending the trials. Also, their winter was getting really bad, and the natives were moving in and killing them. So, in conclusion, a group of young girls caused hundreds of deaths. 19 were executed by hanging. Giles Corey was pressed to death by stone for not testifying, and 2 dogs were executed. These young girls costed many people their lives. Thank you.